I'm at the Vintage Jewelry Show, and I'm speaking to, let me see, now don't tell me I have this sense here. Are you Renee?
I am.
I kind of had the feeling, and it was your name tag, and all the signs, and the business cards. And so, Renee, you know, the thing that I've always sort of wondered is that there's a lot of these old earrings that women used to adhere them to their ear by this big, heavy clip that must have been a kind of torture, kind of a pre-waterboarding kind of torture.
Very uncomfortable.
Now, I was wondering, would you have any ideas of what they could do with that to make it a little more usable?
Yes, I do have ideas. They can turn those very uncomfortable earrings into rings.
Into rings?
Into rings.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Well, this may be just big talk. Do you know anyone that's actually done that?
Yes, myself.
Oh, you have done that. What are the odds of that?
Yes.
Now, why don't you tell me about some of these that you have done that? Some of
Okay,
the.
this one's from West Germany here. This was an earring, a clip earring. That one had a pin
It's
to go
from
with it.
West Germany.
This one was, yes.
So, what year would that make it? Since there's no West Germany any longer.
I would say the 50s.
In the
40s,
50s. So this is what they wore at Checkpoint Charlie, I would assume.
Checkpoint Charlie.
Yeah, that was the division between. That's how you got between West and East Germany.
And this, that says Dodgers. Was
That says
actually
Dodgers.
A cufflink.
It's a
That
cufflink.
was a man's cufflink
It was
that I turned into a ring.
So you turned a man's cufflink into a ring.
Right. I also
Well,
use cufflinks.
Well, so not only have you done this to earrings, cufflinks.
Yes.
What are some of the other territory that you have conquered?
I have taken pendants
A pendant.
from the 50s and 60s.
A pendant
and then
from-
also the bracelet that was by itself.
Uh-huh.
And I designed them together.
I see. So this was the pendant. This was the bracelet.
Correct.
And now, how did you adhere them? Did you
used a
take a
glue.
soldering gun?
No,
Oh,
I
glue.
used a
What
glue.
what kind of glue?
E6000
E6000.
glue.
Yeah, I remember the E500 wasn't any good. When they went to the 6000, that was phenomenal.
Yeah, E6000. And it works because you can't solder these pieces. A lot of
No,
them
why-
are
what-
too,
no, why-
Well, a lot of them are too thin, or you have to get the ring shank as hot as you would have to get the piece itself, and it would melt.
Oh, I see.
So I did
because
try to solder.
because the piece is made out of plastic.
Well, no, they're metal. They're metal,
Is it?
but they're a base metal, and you just need to get them very hot. Have you ever soldered before?
Yes, I
Tried to
have.
Okay.
Not
okay.
jewelry,
Because you
though.
have to drip. You have to drip the solder metal into it, and you have to get them both as hot. So the glue works best for me. I mean, soldering they would just melt. They would disintegrate.
So Renee, how long have you been making and designing and making jewelry?
How long have I been doing it? Probably going on 3 years in November.
Oh.
I'm actually a registered nurse.
Oh, you're an RN.
Yeah.
Now, is it true that RNs are tough as nails and they don't take any
shit.
nonsense from anyone? Is that true?
It's just some do, some don't.
What about you?
I don't.
You know?
My mother once said, "Don't put up with any shit," so I kind of don't. Yeah.
Now, how long do registered nurses? Don't after 30 years, it's just too difficult and they can't wait to get into another business?
I do legal nurse consulting, so I review medical records for attorneys. I've done documentation review at hospitals because the hospitals now, they need to document a certain way so that the insurance companies will cover that bill for the patients.
Wow.
And then I've been bedside, ER, and ICU for 25 plus years.
Wow. So the sort of training that you had in medical and somewhat legal, has this been helpful in your profession in creating, buying, and marketing jewelry?
I think just people. I think, when you're in that kind of profession, in a medical profession, you get to know people. So I think it's communicating and connecting with people that it's
Great.
helped with. Yeah.
So is there a phone number or a web address I can publish?
Yes, there is actually.
Well, just-
Let me give you one of these big cards because I also do parties and I also
Why don't you tell me what it is?
Oh, okay.
Very slowly.
Very slowly. Website is
www. Okay. Renee.
VintageDesigns.com.
Okay. Now there's nothing tricky about that.
No.
It is Renee with 2 E's.
Right.
Design.
VintageDesigns with an S.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, fantastic.
Yep.
Well,